Some more big updates have just came out regarding Jade Cargill, so we'll see what's going on there. We'll also check out what's up with John Cena and more. Starting things off with the first official sighting of Jade Cargill since the November 22nd Smackdown attack. Jade Cargill was recently spotted at WWE's Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, doing some training in the ring and working out. Jade's health status has been subject to a lot of conflicting reports in recent weeks. There was a point where all reports claimed that Jade was not legitimately injured, and that the backstage attack was just to set up a big storyline for her. And then days later, reports came out that Jade Cargill was legitimately injured, and that's why she was written off. And then days after that, they flipped back to Jade not being injured. So the reports have been an absolute mess and have gone back and forth every single day over the last few weeks. Well, reports are now back to sticking with that narrative that Jade Cargill is not legitimately injured. And now that she's been spotted at the Performance Center, training in the ring and training all over the facility, that's some decent evidence that she's mostly healthy for in-ring action. Reports also claim that Jade Cargill has this time off because she was working on several entertainment projects outside of WWE. So she took the end of November and all of December to work on those projects. And according to this appearance at the Performance Center, she could be gearing up for a return to the ring in the near future. Reports are now claiming that Jade will return to the ring sometime during WrestleMania season. And that's some very big important news, because when reports were flipping and flopping about if Jade Cargill is injured or not, it created this big mystery of what's wrong with Jade Cargill, and if that was going to be a very long time before we see her in the ring again, and how that would affect and stretch out this mysterious attacker storyline. But it does not look like any of that we'll have to worry about anymore. Jade Cargill could end up returning any week now. We get the reveal of the attacker story, and maybe Jade Cargill will go one-on-one with whoever this attacker is at WrestleMania 41. When you speak about WrestleMania season returns, one of the points you always have to discuss is the Royal Rumble match. Could we see Jade Cargill make a surprise return during the Royal Rumble match? Much to the surprise of Bianca Belair and Naomi, and that will keep the story flowing with each other over there. It seems very possible for sure, and in regards to the identity of the backstage attacker, reports claim that WWE allegedly has not made up their mind on who it will be, but how they reportedly have two routes and ideas in mind for the identity of the attacker. The report did not name who those two big routes include, but maybe it's Bianca Belair and Naomi. Maybe WWE is trying to flip a coin on seeing which one of those two would make a better reveal and story for the attacker. And it definitely seems like those two have to be the two stars and the two directions WWE has in mind, because Bianca and Naomi are really the only two stars that have been built up as potential suspects. Naomi has a long history with the women's tag team titles. We know she went through a rough patch in 2024 of some big losses, and was really starting to get desperate to hold some gold. So if her need for gold got so bad that she attacked Jade Cargill to set all this in motion, the story and motive checks out. Likewise for Bianca Belair, we've been over her motive several times over the last few weeks here on WrestlingWorldCC, but her route could be that she never really enjoyed teaming up with Jade Cargill, felt that Jade was trying to outshine her and take her spot. So Bianca Belair pulled this attack off and settled the Jade Cargill situation for good. So when reports claim that WWE is one of two suspects in mind to be revealed as the attacker, all signs point to Bianca and Naomi as being these two potential routes. Now, if they want to come completely out of the left field and reveal someone like Charlotte Flair as the attacker, then yes, technically that could, and that'll be a real shock factor pick. But if the attacker is someone that's right in front of our face on television right now, then Bianca and Naomi have to be those potential suspects that WWE has in mind for the reveal. This is an absolute red-hot program for Jade Cargill to jump back into when she returns. Her return is going to be very massive. You better believe she won't be smiling at all. She's going to be gunning for the attacker, and it's going to get the audience very hyped up. It's still a possibility that maybe Jade Cargill does know who the attacker is, and she's keeping it quiet so that she can get the jump on them once she's back. So that's another thing to be on the lookout for once Jade Cargill returns. Does she know who did it? Or will she launch a little investigation of her own once she's back? We keep hearing Naomi and Bianca talk about how they're gonna find out who the attacker is, but it feels like they don't really care because they haven't even launched an investigation yet. So it's possible that it'll be up to Jade Cargill herself to discover who the attacker is and unwrap this mystery. John Cena wasted no time at all setting up the narrative for the first few months of his farewell tour. John Cena came out during the Raw Netflix premiere and said that he feels his 17th world title is impossible and is never going to happen. Cena's reasoning for this belief is that the fact that it's been well over 2,400 plus days since he last secured a singles win on WWE television. It's a pretty insane statistic, but as of this moment in time, it's absolutely real. John Cena hasn't won a singles match since 2018. So realistically speaking, and being in the mind of John Cena's character, the self-doubt is completely understandable. You're probably thinking to yourself, I haven't won a match in 7 years? How am I supposed to suddenly rip off a big world title run? That's true and understandable. But as the segment went on, John Cena was feeding off the energy of the crowd and started to change his beliefs. He started to realize that he might as well enter the Royal Rumble match and take a chance to earn that opportunity to start his road to the historic 17th world title. So it was an amazing promo by John Cena because it perfectly laid out his vision for what to expect from his farewell, at least from January to April, and that's chasing one last world title victory. John Cena's been the odds-on favorite to win the Royal Rumble for several months now, so everyone is absolutely expecting Cena to win the whole thing. Sure, that win technically would not end his massive singles losing streak, but if Cena manages to steal a win at the Rumble, that's all he would need to get a world title match booked for himself at WrestleMania 41. And if it goes down like that, everyone expects John Cena to select Cody Rhodes, and that's going to be potentially your Night 2 main event. Cody Rhodes trying to retain his title as he surpasses the 1-year mark as champion, going up against the desperate and scrappy John Cena. Who knows, this is most likely his last world title shot ever, and his last chance to break the tie with Ric Flair. So that's the journey Cena's on right now. We know how the first half of his year is going to look like, but how will the back half of his final year look like? Will he be reigning and defending world champion in the back half of the year, or will he be unsuccessful in his attempt at winning one last world title? But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.